One of the questions we often hear is, how do investors impact the Canadian housing market? Great question. Doubts about real estate investors are widespread, appearing in the news, academic publications, and government reports. However, investors play a crucial role in the health and expansion of the housing market. First and foremost, they make it possible for developers to build large-scale housing projects by providing the necessary funding during the lengthy construction period. The timeline for building a condo, including the planning, approval, and construction phases, typically spans several years. Getting planning approval for a high-density residential development in Ontario takes about a year and a half or more. Afterwards, construction alone takes between 2 to 5 years. This means buyers often wait 5 years or more from their initial deposit before their home is finally completed. In addition to the significant time commitment, the construction of new housing calls for considerable capital investment, often totaling hundreds of millions of dollars. Projects may also get delayed or canceled. There are various risks associated with large-scale construction that many don't want to undertake, including long wait times and high costs. Investors boost the real estate market by taking on these challenges. Taking investors out of the equation would make the already slow pace of construction even worse, thereby hurting the people those critical investors are trying to advocate for. Many housing advocates also fear that investors with multiple units are limiting the opportunities available to first-time home buyers by reducing the number of homes on the market. However, this stance doesn't consider the growing demand for rental housing. According to Stats Canada's 2021 census, over 33% of households were renters. This represents a significant increase of 21% since 2011, which is more than double the growth of owner households. As homeownership prices continue to skyrocket, more people are turning to renting as the more budget-friendly option. This is especially true for millennials struggling to save for a home. In the GTA, purpose-built rentals comprise the majority of rental housing, comprising 41% of the market. However, most of these purpose-built rentals were built over 40 years ago. Since 2000, only 23,000 new purpose-built rental apartments have been developed, a stark contrast to the 223,000 units built between 1960 and 1979. Moreover, it takes around 8 years for rental developments in Toronto to be completed due to labor shortages and the city's lengthy approval process. Additionally, by the end of 2022, only 1/3 of rental projects were approved. That's where real estate investors come in. They help address the shortage in rental housing by providing millions of high-quality rental condo units. Condos account for 89% of newly completed rental units and 54% of rental supply growth in the GTA over the last decade. During this time, the number of condo rentals has increased by 130%, in contrast to the meager growth of less than 5% experienced by purpose-built rentals. If not for the involvement of investors, there would be not enough rental housing to accommodate Canada's growing population. This would lead to increased competition for fewer units, leaving many priced out of the market. The gap between supply and demand is becoming increasingly pronounced. It's anticipated that 135,000 purpose-built rental and condo units will be added to the GTA's housing market over the next decade. Unfortunately, this falls short of the projected rental demand of 312,000 units, creating a deficit of about 177,000 units. Investors will be more vital to the housing market in the coming years than ever. Real estate investors, though sometimes viewed with doubt, are, in our opinion, indispensable housing providers. They fulfill a vital role in the real estate market by providing rental housing to individuals, particularly young professionals, who may need more time to be ready or inclined towards homeownership. Investors are the primary reason Canadians have the ability to choose between renting and owning. Critiquing investors is far easier than acknowledging the risk and cost they shoulder while offering much-needed, high-quality rental housing that might not be available otherwise. To effectively address the country's deficit of millions of homes, we need to embrace investors instead of alienating them. If you're interested in becoming an investor, our team of Platinum agents can help you get started today. Thank you for watching another GTA Homes exclusive. Remember to subscribe and to visit us at gtahomes.com.